Hello, so I'm going to try and solve this bouncing balls problem from Code Wars. I haven't read the description yet, so let's see. A child is playing with a ball on the 9th floor of a tall building. The height of this floor above ground level is known. He drops... What type of problem is this? He drops the ball out the window, the ball bounces to 2/3 of its height. Okay. His mother looks out of a window 1.5 meters from the ground. How many times will the mother see the ball pass in front of her window, including when it's falling and bouncing? Okay, right, so we've got our total height of the mother looking out the window, and we've got a certain amount of height that it loses each time it bounces. Okay. Float parameter, right, so that means it's a floating point number, right? Cool, so I haven't done that much stuff with numbers in Clojure, so by default when you do divisions you get these fractions. So for instance, if we do 10 divided by 4, yeah, it gives us a fraction back. So, okay, well anyway, so what kind of, so if we need to click train, so what kind of tests have they given us? So, right. Yeah, well let's just implement it using Clojure's fractions and see how well that works. That is how it natively works, so I'm just copying the tests into my own. It's much a better experience to code it in my own IDE. Cool, I think this looks like a fun problem. Right. Cool, so each time, so we need to find out how many times, right? So the fact that we're counting the amount of times it goes down and up is interesting. So because we start with it falling down. Yeah, I'm just figuring out, okay, so I'm just trying to think what's going to happen each time. So whatever kind of looping construct we're using. So normally I would try to make it so that the down and the up are both within a single cycle of the loop. But if we do that, we're not counting each individual time that ball passes the window. Hold on, so what goes up must come down, right? So ideally, okay, so can we make the assumption that h is always a bigger number than the height of the window? 3 conditions must be met. Right, we can. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what we can do, yeah, so that makes it simple. Okay, so because the ball will always pass the window at least once. So what we can do is preset our counter to 1. And then our loop handles each time the ball goes up and down, because what goes up must come down. So, okay. Right, so I guess we use reduce for this, right? Yeah. Cool, so Yeah, I mean, or maybe just use a loop. There's almost no point using reduce, because what would we be reducing over? So yeah, I think it's just a loop actually. Okay, so right. So previous height is preset to h, obviously. So I'm going to make one called count to count how many times it's gone in front of the window. So that's preset to 1, as we already discussed. So bounce, sorry, what's this? So this is the ratio, right, of how, okay. And then window is how high. Yeah, okay. So those don't need to be part of the loop, do they? I can't actually remember how the variable scope works, but I believe we can still access those variables. Okay, I don't think this should be too difficult. So yeah, so we need to calculate how high we're going to bounce. Okay, so why am I using underscores in my variable names? I think it's more idiomatic to use. Right, so our bounce height is previous height. So bounce is our ratio. Let's just check that we're, yeah, so yeah, okay. 1. Wait, what? How is that an result? Should be infinity. Okay, let's look at the tests, right? So yeah, I'm sure this is just the ratio of how high it bounces. So we just multiply the previous height by bounce. Cool. And fix our syntax because oops, have I forgotten my cool. So bounce height. So if bounce height is greater than window, greater than or equal to maybe, is that not? Okay. If bounce height is greater to, so then we, yeah, so then we recur, and the count is now going to be, so we add 2 to the count because what goes up must come down, and then so just return the height that we bounced to. So cool. I feel like that's it. Is that it? I just hope I'm not going to create an end. Oh no, I'm missing something, right? So, so what do we do if it doesn't bounce past the window? Well, then we just return. We just return count, and that's it. Cool. So, oops. So Control C, meta NN. So let's just quickly test it. I mean, I already have all those tests. I might as well just put. I do like to just test it in the REPL. 3. Is that correct? Allegedly it is. Or if it starts at 30 meters or whatever we're using, then it should be 15, right? Yeah, cool. So we've done it. Let's just run the actual test suite properly. Cool, nil means success. Cool, alright, we've done it. Easy. Cool, so do I want to make any tweaks or improvements to it? I mean, I would normally comment it. The problem is, I'm not sure how to explain this concisely in a comment. Well, it's not required, so let's just do this. So copy that, paste, test, tests passed, attempt. So I think when you click attempt, it runs a bigger test suite, a secret bigger batch of tests. Could be wrong. Oh. What? Well, that's an invalid. So why? This is a weird test though. Like, why would the height of the window? I mean, the result should be 0, not -1. Okay. I don't quite understand. Wait, do we not have? Right, so if we set the yes, it will go past Mum's window one time. No, will it? It doesn't make sense because it's at the same height. Wait, so in the instructions, does it say? Ah. Oh, so it wants us to sanity check the input data. Okay, that's fine. We just need to. Cool. All right. What's the nicest way to just sanity check? There is actually a library you can use. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a library for. I'm going to Google it. Let's find out what it is. I mean, there's probably multiple. Yeah, so struct is the one I've used before. My tumble dry is done. Yeah, so let's try using struct, right? Because why not? So this website's a bit 90s. Where fun, cool. Who are these fun, cool people then? Open source projects by Fun Cool. Oh, lots of important stuff here. Anyway, cool. So project.clj, no, because these instructions are for these instructions are for a Luminous project, not a cool. So we're using a Clojure tools, not Luminous. So deps, if I remember correctly, we did apparently, right, cool. And then we just is that right? So we require so what's the quickest way to restart our REPL? Is it just doing that? Why do we have Tolkien quote? Which REPL? What? We have two REPLs, both. I think Sessman restart did actually restart. I was just premature, right? So right, okay. Cool. So did that work, right? So do we have ST available? So can we? What's a good test? Okay. So if we copy this in. Extra inputs. What? Presumably I've just written this wrong. That's just a warning though. Alright, well I don't know if that warning matters, but okay, cool. So does this actually work now? Cool, so we have struct, right? So, cool. I mean, this is probably a bit heavyweight for what we're doing though. Cool. It's nice to get the practice. Although now I think of it, I mean, these validations that we're doing, So this one is comparing one to another one. I don't know if struct is even designed to compare them to each other. Yeah, this wasn't even the right way to solve the problem, because we've got these built-in validators. I know you can define your own validators, but oh, if the validator needs access to previously validated data, cool. Okay, so if we're willing to define our own validators, this is probably just way overkill for what we're doing though. Let's just, for the sake of this video not being an hour long. Right, so we're just going to validate all of this. So we're going to return a true or false. So rather than using loads of if statements, does Clojure have some sort of the equivalent of case? I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Okay. Right, so we've got case and cond, haven't we? So takes an expression and a set of clauses. Sorry, what? I'm not clear on the difference between this and cond. Right, so cond is just a set of test expression pairs. No, so I think we want case. So the clauses are what exactly? So each clause can take the form of either test constant result expression or they must be compile time literals. Huh? Oh, no, so no, we can't use case then, we need cond. Yeah, I'm being a bit slow, aren't I? Cool, so we use cond. Right, cool, so right. So the first test is what? So we need to check h must be greater than 0, okay. Greater than and the second test is that bounce must be greater than 0 and lesser than 1. Can we do two comparisons in one like that? I don't think so. We can probably Wait, these need to be negated. Right, so so it has to be within these, or again we need to negate it. Wait, what? What just happened? Oh. Oh, I see. Right, so cool. The lint is upset about something, I'm not sure what. Wait, this still isn't right. This knot is wrapped around too much. Right. I don't like this code. I feel like maybe I should have used struct. So float parameter must be less than h. Float must be less than h. Okay, so sorry, sorry, what? Window must be less than h. We're probably not allowed to import external libraries anyway, right? And I think we can just set a default. Cool. Oh, can we not do that? Interesting. We don't want false anyway, we want -1, right? Oh no, that's can be returned by the parent function. Cool, so cool, so if we do some so height 30, bounce 0.6 and window 10. Yeah, so we're getting a nil. Well, why? How do we set a default response for cond if none of the conditions are met? I thought I could just add an extra. Can we not just put that on the end? I'm sure I've done that before. I don't get it. I mean, I'm sure I've used cond before and that was what I did. I mean, there needs to be a default output, otherwise I don't understand. Oh, well, that's not what we want. Okay, so what do we want then? Because this obviously isn't the right function. What does cond p do? No. We just want to run through all of them. I mean, we could use a whole bunch of if statements, but it's very ugly. We should have just used the scheme thing, shouldn't we? Oh, I think we're not allowed to. Okay. There must be a way to do this in Clojure. Why is this so difficult? There must be a way to run through a sequence of tests. Do we just use or something? Maybe we just use or. Evaluate expressions one at a time from left to right. Yeah, maybe we need all. So if we run all, cool. Cool, so we get a false. But if we do something naughty like that, cool, so the output is inverted, but we can easily our indentation, okay. Cool, and then if we fix it, cool. All right, so we've got a validating function. Cool, so when bouncing balls is called, before we do anything else, we just when validate, well no, because why? Yeah, let's rename the function invalid. And not bother notching it, right? Because it's otherwise we're just notching it twice, which is just silly. Okay, so when invalid, well, the way I'm writing this is a bit silly. It might be better to make another function. Yeah, because I don't like doing, I mean, we're relying on the implicit do of a function, aren't we? So let's, count bounces cool, so the first thing we do is if it's invalid, we return what? -1. Okay. Else we return the output of running our function on it. What's it unhappy about here? What? Why is there a paredit isn't letting me delete this spurious. What's going on? I thought I just turned it off. Paredit mode. I'm trying to turn it off. Why can't I turn off paredit? I don't understand. Paredit mode. It just keeps saying unmatched bracket or quote. I know. Let me delete it, please. Delete backward char. Okay. All right. Anyway, cool. Right. So if invalid, return that. Else return. Cool. All right. Cool. Cool. So yeah, cool. So should we count bounces again? Cool. So we get -1. But if we set this to 10, cool. All right, cool. Great. So why can I not paste? What's going on? Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. So we attempt. One failed. Well, that's a matter of opinion because it depends if we're. So let's. So this is. Do you remember when I wasn't sure if I should be checking for greater than or equal to or yeah, so we get 3, right? Because it falls down, so that's 1, and then it bounces back up. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, that is 3. But they expect it to be 1. So that is because of. Yeah, so if I just change that from a greater than or equal to just a greater than, then that should fix that. Cool. Okay, so copy. Control V does not paste. Cool. Right. So according to their logic, everything is passed. Oh no, that's just the normal tests. On the full test suite, everything passed. Great. You may take the time to refactor or comment your solution. Yeah, I mean, it's not really commented, is it? But this video is long enough, I think. So we will submit it. Why is the formatting screwed up when it shows other people's examples? Take while. Yeah, so he's done it in a more compact manner. I mean, it's not clear to me that this is easy to read, but no, so everything that I've done with my, well, this video is long enough, but I'll have a look at that afterward.